And speaking of transplanting, there's one step that you want to remember before you take your plants from the greenhouse and put them into the garden, and that's called hardening off. Hardening off is basically when you acclimate your greenhouse plants you acclimate them to outdoor temperatures and conditions such as wind, sun, shade, and temperature fluctuations, and you get them ready for their life outdoors. So these plants are almost ready to transplant into the outdoors or into another pot. So if I were to do that, what I would do is I'd take this tray and any other trays that are about a week or two off from planting outside, and during the daytime, you take the plants and put them outside for the day and bring them in right before the evening or the end of the day. You want to do that for about a week or a few days. 3 days to a week is good. And then after that, what you can do, after they've gotten used to those temperature fluctuations, you can take those flats and leave them outside for the day and night, as long as it doesn't get too cold during the nighttime. And that will properly acclimate them if you do that for about another week or 3 days to another week. So it can take, hardening off can take from 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how sensitive the plants are. And how late in the season. So if it's early in the season, it's a cool season plant, you might want to stretch that time period out longer, as opposed to if you're planting, later in the season, like in say, May or June, your hardening off period can be a lot shorter. So that's a very important step to help your plants grow quickly and not die when you put them out in the field, or experience transplant shock, which means that they'll stop growing for a good amount of time. It could be a week or even more, and it can really stunt the plants if they experience too much transplant shock. So hardening off is very important, and it's a good trick that a lot of gardeners don't learn until they find out that their plants are having a hard time from transplant shock.